again. 2nd and 16. Dalton looking down the sideline. Callaway is there. Sizing it up.
Playing quarterback in the NFL is touted as the hardest position in all of sports. And while people are generally referring to the starter, the 2023/2024 season showed us that the role of the backup need not be overlooked. Otherwise, a season can go up in flames in the blink of an eye. So, how about we take a look across the league and see which teams have the best second-string signal caller and who might need some help as we rank them from worst to first. Number 32, Clayton Tune, Arizona Cardinals. Man, did Clayton Tune look bad during his lone start for the Cardinals last year. The Cards must see something in him since they decided to keep him around. Or heck, maybe the team just loves the Houston product. But based on his 7-12, 2-interception, 62-yard showing last year, he's gonna have to come in dead last on our backup quarterback rankings. Number 31, Jake Haener, New Orleans Saints. As a mid-round pick, Jake Haener has the potential to develop, but the rookie backup is still very much a project. With no real pedigree or experience, Haener has to be near the bottom of the list. Number 30, Malik Willis, Green Bay Packers. Malik Willis came into the league with a lot of hype thanks to his raw talent at Liberty University, but his struggles for the Titans are hard to overlook. Willis just looks lost on an NFL field, and unfortunately, we saw that from him again during Week 1 filling in for Jordan Love in Brazil. Number 29, Hendon Hooker, Detroit Lions. Hendon Hooker was viewed as a very promising dual-threat quarterback coming out of college, but a college injury ended up slowing his transition to the NFL. So, while he has the potential to be a good backup, he's yet to take an NFL snap. That said, Detroit is a good spot for him. Jared Goff is entrenched as the Lions starter, and Hooker will have a chance to gain experience behind a seasoned pro, and can easily leverage his athleticism if he is slotted into action by necessity. Number 28, Drake May, New England Patriots. Drake May was a standout in college, but has yet to prove himself in the pros. There is a lot of anticipation surrounding his potential to take over as the future starter for the Patriots, but until he shows that he can handle the speed and complexity of running an NFL offense, he's going to have to rank near the bottom of the list. Number 27, Brandon Allen, San Francisco 49ers. Brandon Allen has built a steady career as a backup, spending time with multiple teams and learning different systems. He's shown flashes of competence when given the opportunity, but he's more of a placeholder than someone who can push for a starting job. Which, is actually a little surprising for San Fran. Considering that I'd think them to be scarred from their experience with starting QBs getting hurt. Number 26, Kyle Trask, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Kyle Trask, a second-round pick from Florida, has had limited chances to show what he can actually do. Seriously, he's only thrown 10 passes in his NFL career, so the jury really is just still out on his ability. That said, when he has been on the field, he hasn't been particularly inspiring, so yeah, he's gonna have to be pretty low on this list. Number 25, Tyson Bagent, Chicago Bears. Tyson Bagent stepped into the spotlight when Justin Fields went down last year and did well enough to satiate and even excite a few Bears fans. But while he's an exciting young player with mobility and a willingness to take risks, his inexperience shows, and throwing him into a live game is definitely a crapshoot. Number 24, Mac Jones, Jacksonville Jaguars. After a horrendous end to his tenure as the starter for New England, Mac Jones now finds himself backing up Trevor Lawrence in Jacksonville. Hard to believe the former Pro Bowler is this low on the list, but hey, his flame out with the Pats was just that bad. Number 23, Skylar Thompson, Miami Dolphins. Skylar Thompson was thrust into action for Miami after Tua Tagovailoa's injuries, and while he has showed some toughness, his lack of polish was very evident. Miami seems to like him, but I can't imagine that the Dolphins are super confident once he's thrust into action. Number 22, Jarrett Stidham, Denver Broncos. Jarrett Stidham was once seen as a potential successor to Tom Brady in New England, but his performances never seemed to live up to the hype. Now he's backing up a rookie Bo Nix in Denver. Stidham has the tools to be a solid quarterback, but for whatever reason, he's just never been able to put it all together. Number 21, Cooper Rush, Dallas Cowboys. Cooper Rush gained fans in Dallas after stepping in for Dak Prescott and keeping the team afloat. Though a lot of that seemed to do with his catchy name more than anything specific that he was actually doing on the field. In any case, he doesn't have any elite traits, but Rush's calm demeanor and ability to manage the offense helped the Cowboys stay competitive in a pinch, and the Cowboys and their fans have grown to appreciate him for that. Number 20, Aiden O'Connell, Las Vegas Raiders. Aiden O'Connell's NFL experience remains limited, but he looked pretty okay during his time as a starter. His poise in the pocket and decision-making skills are gonna serve him very well if he's thrown into the fire in relief of Gardner Minshew this season. Number 19, Michael Penix Jr., Atlanta Falcons. Michael Penix Jr. brings a dynamic playmaking ability from his college days, but he is still very much so a work in progress at the professional level. His deep ball accuracy and ability to stretch the field are very promising, but until he actually gains more experience, it's difficult to gauge how effective he'll actually be. Number 18, Mitch Trubisky, Buffalo Bills. Once the number 2 overall pick, he failed to meet expectations as a starter, but he has now since found a role as a backup in Buffalo behind Josh Allen, which actually works pretty well because he has a very similar playstyle to Allen. Number 17, Jeff Driscoll, Washington Commanders. Jeff Driscoll has bounced around the league, providing spot starts and relief work whenever needed. While he hasn't been able to secure a starting job, Driscoll's versatility and experience in different systems make him a reliable backup option. It's also very nice that he isn't afraid to use his legs when necessary, as plays can often break down once the backup comes in. Number 16, Andy Dalton, Carolina Panthers. Dalton's experience, leadership, and ability to step in without skipping a beat makes him one of the top backups in the league. He is the perfect guy to help mentor Bryce Young through his growing pains in Carolina. He can teach him to be a pro and isn't a threat to try and take over unless the team calls on him strategically. Number 15, Drew Lock, New York Giants. Lock's arm talent is undeniable, and his confidence unspeakably high, but his decision-making and consistency have always been a little spotty. Now serving as a backup, Lock is hoping to regain some of the promise that once made him a potential franchise quarterback, and with Daniel Jones in front of him, he might just get that chance. Number 14, Nick Mullins, Minnesota Vikings. Nick Mullins has earned a reputation as a gunslinger during his time as a backup, and while that isn't always what you'll want with a backup, he's certainly found a home in Minnesota. He's willing to take risks and push the ball downfield, which makes him very exciting to watch. And hey, the Vikings really seem to like him. Sure, Mullins isn't the most polished passer, but he's competent and a worthwhile option to have coming off the bench. Number 13, Mason Rudolph, Tennessee Titans. Mason Rudolph was a serviceable backup for the Steelers before making his way to Tennessee. While he's never been able to fully seize a starting role, Rudolph's proven ability to perform in multiple offensive systems and manage games make him a steady option as a backup. You know, when he's not getting into season-altering brawls on the field. Number 12, Kenny Pickett, Philadelphia Eagles. Kenny Pickett was once a first-round pick, but after a lackluster run as the starter in Pittsburgh, to put it lightly, he has moved across the state and transitioned into a backup role in Philadelphia. Pickett's mobility and leadership make him a very solid backup option, and he still has room to grow as a player, even if his first stint as a starter didn't go exactly as planned. That said, don't expect him to be given any serious consideration as a starter again anytime soon. Number 11, Davis Mills, Houston Texans. Davis Mills had a tough stint as the Texans starter, but he showed enough flashes to remain a long-term backup option. He wasn't consistent enough to be a starter at the NFL level, but he's definitely shown that he can step in and perform when needed. Though, the Texans are definitely hoping that he won't be touching the field much this upcoming year. Number 10, Josh Johnson, Baltimore Ravens. To say that Josh Johnson has been around the block a time or two is an understatement. The 38-year-old has been on more teams than we can count. He obviously isn't able to step in and do what Lamar Jackson can, but you know, in a pinch, he has all the experience needed to do the job at QB2. Number 9, Sam Howell, Seattle Seahawks. Sam Howell showed glimpses of serious potential in Washington before the team pivoted to Jaden Daniels as their guy. He landed as a backup in Seattle, and there's reason to believe that he still has room to grow and improve. Howell's ability to make plays downfield and his mobility make him an intriguing backup option. He'll need to become more consistent to become a starter again, but still, the talent is there. Number 8, Taylor Heineke, Los Angeles Chargers. Taylor Heineke has had his moments in the spotlight, most notably when he nearly led Washington to an upset over Tampa Bay in the 2020 playoffs. However, his low ceiling relegated him to a backup role, now with the Chargers. That said, Heineke's grit and resilience are his calling cards, and he is a very viable second-string option. Number 7, Jake Browning, Cincinnati Bengals. Jake Browning was super impressive in his appearance filling in for Joe Burrow. While he doesn't have the same star power, Browning's ability to manage the offense and keep things running smoothly in Burrow's absence has made him a household name in Cincinnati. Obviously, he can't replace Burrow, as we saw down the stretch last year, but you know, he is more than serviceable as far as backups go. Number 6, Tyrod Taylor, New York Jets. Tyrod Taylor has been the epitome of a reliable backup quarterback throughout his entire career, and right on the fringe of being a legit starter. His mobility, game management skills, and ability to step in during crunch time have made him a trusted option for teams in need. With an aging Aaron Rodgers under center, having a guy like Taylor to turn to is gonna be invaluable for the Jets. Number 5. Carson Wentz, Kansas City Chiefs. Once a potential MVP candidate, Carson Wentz's career has been derailed by injuries, immaturity, and inconsistency. However, when he is healthy, Wentz has the arm talent and experience to be one of the most capable backups in the entire league. He's a high upside option for the Chiefs and could prove valuable if he needs to slide in for Mahomes once or twice during the year. Number 4. Joe Flacco, Indianapolis Colts. A former Super Bowl MVP, Joe Flacco brings a wealth of experience to the Colts as a backup. He also proved his ability to be a very effective backup last season with the Cleveland Browns as he led them to a stunning postseason run. While his prime years are now behind him, Flacco's ability to manage games and provide veteran leadership makes him an invaluable asset in the quarterback room, and he is decidedly one of the most accomplished backups in the entire NFL today. Number 3. Jimmy Garoppolo, Los Angeles Rams. Garoppolo has spent much of his career as a starter, including leading the 49ers to a Super Bowl appearance, which they were painfully close to winning. The years since haven't quite been as kind to him, and now he's on backup duties in Los Angeles. Garoppolo's injury history are definitely a concern, but his experience, leadership, and familiarity with big moments make him a valuable asset off the bench, not to mention his overwhelming competence compared to what you would expect from a true backup. Number 2. Justin Fields, Pittsburgh Steelers. Justin Fields isn't the only former first-round pick on this list, but the 11th overall pick in the 2021 draft may be the most physically gifted of all the quarterbacks relegated to second-string duties today. Fields has all the physical tools to be a star in the NFL, but consistency clearly eluded him during his time as a starter in Chicago. The Bears have since moved on to Caleb Williams, and you know what? That split may have been the best for both sides. Though Fields didn't look great during his Week 1 spot start for Russell Wilson, there is reason to believe in him as the backup in Pittsburgh. He still possesses game-changing mobility and a very strong arm, making him one of the most dangerous backups in the league, as he's always a threat to just take over a game, and he still has long-term potential if the Steelers coaching staff can work on his mechanics and improve his game management skills. Number 1. Jameis Winston, Cleveland Browns. It is really tough to do much better with a backup quarterback than Jameis Winston. In fact, I'd say it is impossible. After all, he is sitting atop the list due to his combination of arm strength, starting experience, and the high upside the Browns could see if, and at this point, it is looking like when, they slot him into action. Sure, while his career has been plagued by turnovers and inconsistency, Winston's ability to light up the scoreboard when things are clicking makes him the most dangerous backup in the NFL. I mean, after all, how many backup QBs have 5,000-yard passing seasons to their names? His potential to just completely dominate a game at any moment puts him in a class of his own and the easy choice for number 1 backup quarterback in the NFL. But hey, who do you think is the current best backup quarterback in the league today? Do you agree with our rankings, or would you move things around a little bit? What do you think we got right? What do you think we got wrong? Let us know in the comment section below. If you like this video, then hey, clicking the like button helps us out a ton, and you know, we really appreciate it. If this is your first time coming around to TPS though, then, well, subscribing is a great idea because we put out videos like this every single day. But as always, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.